Okay, so we've all been there, right? You know, one too many slices of pizza or that extra cup of coffee, and suddenly your stomach is just not happy with you.
Yeah.
But what if? Like, what if those kind of like digestive issues that we all deal with sometimes are actually a sign of something a little bit more serious?
Yeah.
So today we are going deep, deep, deep into the world of leaky gut
Oh, leaky gut.
with Coach Dave.
Right?
And he has this really interesting way of looking at the digestive system,
Okay.
not just as, just processing our food, but as the body's like incredibly intricate operating system.
That's a brilliant analogy.
Yeah, it is
It makes you think about it.
Yeah.
If your computer's OS is all messed up, like nothing's going to work right.
Yeah,
It's the same with your gut. It controls so much.
absolutely. And Coach Dave is really, really good at breaking these complex systems down into like really simple terms
Right.
so that anyone can understand.
Makes it accessible.
So before we get into like all the details and all the nitty-gritty,
Sure.
let's just like define leaky gut, or as it's known in like the medical world, increased intestinal permeability.
Oh, increase intestinal permeability.
So catchy, right?
Yeah, it rolls right off the tongue.
So imagine the lining of your intestines
Okay. Okay.
as this like finely woven net,
Right.
right? And when it's working the way it should,
Uh-huh.
it's, letting those nutrients pass through
Yeah.
while keeping all the harmful substances out.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but with leaky gut,
But then
that net develops gaps.
gaps in the net.
And suddenly things that shouldn't be getting through are getting through. Like undigested food,
yeah.
toxins, even microbes slipping into the bloodstream.
That can't be good.
Yeah, not good.
Not good at all.
And that's basically setting off like alarm bells throughout the whole body.
It's like your body's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, like red alert, red alert.
Exactly. Your immune system is like, wait a minute, we got some invaders here.
Right.
And it launches this whole inflammatory response to try to fight it off.
So the longer this goes on, the more widespread this inflammation is,
Yeah.
which can affect everything from your energy levels to your mood.
Right. And I mean, and it's not just like, the bloating and the discomfort that people typically associate with digestive issues.
Right.
Like Coach Dave, he stresses that leaky gut can show up in some really surprising ways.
It can.
You might have fatigue, joint pain, skin problems, even brain fog,
Yeah.
all stemming from this compromised gut.
Yeah.
And you know what they say? The longer you let something go on like that, the harder it is to fix it.
So true. So we've got this incredible operating system, our gut, but what causes it to malfunction and start springing all these leaks?
Well, I think the important thing to remember here is that it's rarely just one thing.
Yeah.
Coach Dave, he emphasizes that.
It's a combination of things. It's usually like a bunch of different factors that kind of gang up and disrupt that delicate balance in your gut.
Yeah.
And honestly, diet plays a huge role.
Yeah.
I mean, processed foods, refined sugar,
Yeah.
all those inflammatory oils that are lurking in so many packaged foods.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's really bad for your gut.
So cleaning up your diet
Oh, that's gotta be.
is like a crucial first step.
Absolutely.
And this is where Coach Dave's approach gets really interesting.
Okay, so what's he say?
Because he actually advises against fermented foods.
What? Really?
I know.
But I thought fermented foods were good for
I
you.
know, right?
Yeah.
Because of the probiotics and everything.
Yeah.
But
That's a deal.
he says that they also contain histamines,
Oh, histamines.
which can actually make inflammation worse
Oh, I
if
see.
you've already got leaky gut.
So it's almost like depends on the person, right?
It's finding what works for your body.
like personalized. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to kind of like challenge that conventional wisdom.
Interesting.
So diet is obviously a major player.
Yeah, big time.
But what about stress?
Oh, stress.
We all know that stress can really do a number on our bodies.
I mean, I feel it in
Yeah.
my gut.
So how does that stress actually affect our gut?
Well, when you're chronically stressed, it just throws your whole system out of whack.
Yeah.
And it actually weakens that gut barrier,
Whoa.
making you way more susceptible to developing leaky gut.
Okay.
And then it's like this awful, vicious cycle
Yeah.
because the stress impacts your gut, but then the gut problems lead to more stress.
It's like a domino effect.
Totally.
Yeah. And then on top of all that,
There's more.
you've got the medications
Oh.
and all the hidden toxins that we're just like bombarded with every day.
Yeah, like what kind of stuff are we talking about?
So even common pain relievers like NSAIDs,
NSA is like what?
like ibuprofen or aspirin,
Oh, yeah, I take those.
they can actually damage the gut lining over time.
Wow.
And then you've got things like glyphosate.
Glyphosate, what's that?
That's a pesticide.
Oh, okay.
That's in a lot of our food.
Okay.
And then phthalates.
Phthalates.
They're found in like plastics and personal care products.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that.
And all of that can contribute to leaky gut.
It's amazing how much stuff we're exposed to every day that we don't even think about.
Right, right.
And it's really affecting our health.
It is. So awareness is key.
Awareness, yeah.
Once you kind of understand all these different factors that are at play, then you can start making those informed choices to support your gut health.
It's about taking control, right?
It is.
Not just being, at the mercy of whatever's happening around you.
Exactly, exactly.
All right. So that's kind of like the lay of the land
Yeah.
with leaky gut.
Yeah, so let's dive a little deeper now
Okay, I'm ready.
and talk about like what we can actually do about it.
Yeah, how do we fix this thing?
How do we heal our gut?
Let's get into it.
Coach Dave has got some really, really interesting insights.
Okay, I'm all ears. So what's really fascinating about Coach Dave's approach is he doesn't just focus on patching those leaks in your gut.
Right.
He really wants you to understand why they developed in the first place.
Yeah.
He sees gut health as being so integral to just the overall well-being of your entire system.
Yeah, it's like he's saying don't just treat the symptoms, you've got to get to the root cause.
Exactly.
And that's where that operating system analogy really clicks for me.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a compromised gut, that can really trigger a cascade of effects throughout your whole body.
Oh, totally.
So we touched on inflammation a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
but how does leaky gut actually contribute to inflammation in other areas?
Well, remember those foreign particles
Yeah.
that are sneaking through the weakened gut barrier?
Yeah.
Those guys, those trigger an immune response.
Yeah.
And that immune response involves the release of all these inflammatory chemicals.
So it's your body is constantly on high alert, fighting off invaders.
Yeah, exactly. It's in this constant state of, oh no, something's wrong, gotta fight, gotta fight, gotta fight.
And over time, that low-grade inflammation can actually damage tissues and organs throughout your body.
It can. And it's a major driver of so many chronic conditions.
Right.
And leaky gut can be a big part of that.
Okay, that explains those seemingly unrelated symptoms, like the joint pain, the brain fog,
Yep.
skin issues.
All connected.
And Coach Dave even mentioned neurological function.
Oh, yeah.
So how does leaky gut affect the brain?
Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
So the gut and the brain, they're actually in constant communication through this pathway called the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis. I've heard that term before.
Oh, yeah, it's getting a lot of attention these days.
Can you break that down for me a little bit more?
Yeah, so the gut-brain axis, it's this intricate network of nerves and hormones and neurotransmitters that are all connecting your gut and your brain.
So think of it like a superhighway of information.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
It's constantly flowing between your gut and your brain.
Back and forth all the time.
So if your gut is compromised, those inflammatory signals can actually travel up to the brain.
They can, they do.
And disrupt its normal functioning.
Exactly. It's sending all this static through a communication line.
Yeah.
Right? So it's it can manifest in so many ways.
Oh, I bet.
Mood swings, anxiety, you might have trouble concentrating, brain fog, even, more serious neurological conditions.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, but it all comes back to the gut.
It's almost like having a glitchy OS on your computer. The whole system just starts to slow down and malfunction.
Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. I love that.